think we're up. Hey guys, how are you? All right, we're gonna wait for you guys to come in, but this is gonna be a new series that we started, live Q&A on Mondays, going over everything from thoughts, ideas, DIY projects, and I thought I'd start off with another bagging session, but at the same time while I'm bagging food and giving you guys some ideas and vice versa, we talk some ideas, some questions. So basically this is just all I got right now. I have, let's see if you guys can see it. I have, let's see here. I have a bin over here on the floor where I have white sugar, instant coffee, and mashed potatoes. Now with the damage that has been happening down in South America with the coffee crops that we've talked about several times before, I actually got to look at a site called, I think, spillingthebeans.net or .com, and they talk all things coffee and news, and they had a bunch of pictures of brown and black plants, and that's going to put quite the dent on the production of coffee and the prices of coffee. In fact, I went coffee shopping at one site that they had as an ad just for fun, and on their sales section, the Arabica price went up over $3 a pound. So needless to say, stock up all you can. Ground, instant, whole, green beans, whatever you can get your hands on. I would definitely recommend doing that now, sooner the better. So we got, right now just pasta. We're going to keep this really easy today, different varieties. These were, I think, $1 a box. So I got a whole different variety, as well as pasta and the basics. As we talked about before, a good thing you guys should do is seasoning. Salt, pepper, anything that you like to put in there. If you could buy tomato powder, definitely recommend that. Then we can make sauce in the future. If you can grow your own tomatoes to make your own sauce, definitely do that. So I got some angel hair pasta over here. I got some elbows. And what I do is I lay out everything I have, and I take my Mylar bags and my Sharpie, and I just go to town labeling all of everything that I'm going to bag. So what I do is I get my food that I'm going to bag and label everything. So instead of taking out your stuff, not knowing how much you have, how many bags you're going to need, this gives me a really good idea of being organized. How much food I have, how many bags I'm going to need, and then how many O2 absorbers I'm going to need right here. And then I have my flat iron right here, plugged in, ready to go. And as I get close to this, what I normally do is I like the O2 absorbers to be 10 in a bag. That way I can do 10 at a time, put them in my bin, which I've labeled. I like to use these 17-gallon totes right here. Now, what I've learned very early on is that the bigger the totes, the heavier it is. So go smaller, do something very manageable and easy on yourself. So that's it. Our corn is doing really good. Our potatoes are doing really good. Not quite dead yet, so I'm thinking another month and a half at most that we'll be able to harvest our potatoes. We have 4 varieties. We have Pontiacs, Yukon Gold, we have Russets, and a new one we tried this year. Corn, we have, I think, 5 varieties we've planted. So we got our, again, if you have any questions about the bagging process, let me know, but these are really easy. Now I could put more in here, but I'm going to keep it relatively easy. So that's it. It's your 5 ml Mylar bag labeled. You seal it up top. And when you go to open it, you got the little tear right here. You guys can see it. The little notch in the Mylar bag. And that's it. And then I just line them up against something every 10 bags. And then I take my sealer and I go through all 10 bags, 10 at a time. If I do any more than that, it gets a little busy and my counters get a little crowded. And I don't want to run the risk of these bags falling. That actually happened one time in a live stream a couple streams ago. Didn't lose too much, but again, it's just those things that you learn and pass along to others. So we got the elbows and then we have the angel hair. Again, if you have any questions or ideas about a lot of the videos I've made before, basically in general, I'm trying to focus more on food. I'm going to see more so my videos only because of the reports and news articles that I've seen since going on to last year of people having issues with their farms, orchards, vineyards, droughts, and cold weather shortening the grow season of a lot of these farmers. So I got my angel hair there. So all more reason to hedge your bets and stock up on food while you can, because between the shortages and the inflation is another kick in the pants, because what a lot of grocery stores are doing, and I've shared this with a couple of articles on my videos, is that they're stocking up more than usual. Normally they don't do that. They have multiple truckloads of food coming in 2, 3, 4 times every day throughout the entire year. So they never have actual shortages. But what they're doing now is buying extra because of inflation. In fact, the last video I put out, there was a billionaire who owns the supply chain of grocery stores who has said that he expects prices to rise up to 10-14% by October 1st. And that's just what he's estimating right now. Of course, that could fluctuate, but if he's saying that publicly, what are we not hearing? That's what's really going on behind the scenes. Is a good question. So you got billionaires, grocers stocking up. And they're counting on that food to fly out the door because, where's my penny? Because if they're stocking up on it, they got to sell it. Oh, I didn't do it for penny. How funny. All right, cool. I get to do a bag in front of you guys. I'm really pretty good about that. So you got the ZD, the Gotti. Let me get the penne. So what I do is I just take my bag and my Sharpie. I'll just write down what it is. Penne pasta. And sometimes there are some cuts that I'm not too familiar with, or someone else may not be too familiar with it if I'm bagging for someone else. So what I'll do is I'll draw a picture of it. And then they're good to go. And then the date. That way you know when it was bagged. So today is the 26th, July 26th, 2021. And then we get it in here. And it's that easy. Again, if you have a link or a question about my other bags, I buy from packfreshusa.com. They're out of California. We've been buying from them pretty consistently lately because they are a really good company to work with. They have a nice variety of bags, sizes, and they actually ship pretty quickly. We'll buy on a Friday, and it'll actually be here on a Monday, which is a nice surprise. We use the 5 ml bags, 1 gallon in size, and that way it's small and manageable. You can do the 5-gallon bags. It's inside the buckets for bigger items, bulk items like beans, for example, or lentils or rice. Stuff like this, I like the smaller bags because it's easier to manage and it keeps things fresher. So the less big bags you have to open, the better. And the great thing about these is once you open them, you can reseal them again, again, and again over time. Really easy is what I like about these. So let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags. I'll go 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll bag the 10. And I'll show you how easy it is. So again, if you have any questions or comments, things about bagging food, I've been doing this for, I think this will be 10 years now because of my daughter. Canning food, bagging food. You can even use a break bleeder if there's no power and you're camping. You want to keep your food fresh in your mason jars, for example. There's so many ways to get creative. Again, the biggest thing that not just myself but other people at the same time are trying to tell people about is the food shortages and how low our food reserves are. We don't have those food reserves like we used to, especially with last year, with a lot of people working from home, not leaving. So a lot of people were making a lot more food at home, eating out less. I know with the farmers in the ag industry having issues between the ongoing droughts and the flooding in certain areas of the world, China's been buying up a ton of food because they got hit with a ton of floods last year and this year. So it's going to be interesting to see how people cope with this. And now the third whammy is the potential for more lockdowns because of these ongoing different variants. We have Delta and so on. Things like a Lambda variant, a Delta variant. So depending on what you see in the news and what you're hearing, just today they're talking about even if you receive the jab, that they're not going to recommend you to continue wearing the mask. So you have rubber shortages. You have a lack of workers in the workforce. Ports around the world are having issues because of lack of workers who are qualified and trained to work the ports. So you have port congestion all around the world. Things like getting unloaded and transported as quickly as they can. Rail issues we talked about a couple of videos ago. The West Coast has stopped moving international freight to Chicago from the West Coast. So let's see, you have the angel hair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. And then we'll bag this for you guys. And that's just what I'm seeing and hearing online. I love the emails that come in with pictures and reports of, there's some people talking out from California of shelves not being as full as what they're used to seeing. Ours wasn't too bad. We did see a big dent in the pasta section, not because of me. That was how I found it. But depending on where you live in the country, we talked about last year, the Domino sugar factory catching fire, grain silos catching fire last year. So you have a combination of that, natural disasters, droughts, and other issues. Hey, come on in. Want to go over there? All right, I'm going to seal this. Actually, you want to help me put them in the bin? That's actually really good, Tanya. Okay, let me see the chat. Is that working? Let me see here. My chat's blank. That's weird. Are you getting messages from the chat?
Check the chat.
All right, I'm checking. I don't see anything. Yeah, unfortunately, let me see here. Participants, let me see. Let me check the chats here. All right, cancel. Let's see. Should I end it and then try it again? Let me see, because I don't see anything in the chat. And there's a lot of good questions coming in through. Let's see. All right, let me end this, and then I will pop it back up again.